chill runs down my neck just standing here. Yeah. I was a victim here. I was victimized at this very bus stop. Yeah. They made a victim out of me. They made a victim out of me. Mom, look, I'm a victim.
Alright, check it. Jonathan Ramtran here, stand-up comedian, actor extraordinaire, Torontonian. Thank you for listening. Recently I had an incident taking the TTC, Transit Commission, a bus altercation. Now I will say this, there's a lot of grievances on both ends of the spectrum. Riders, drivers, miscreants, everybody has their point of view. But I will say this, the TTC Transit Commission, the drivers, a lot of them are doing the best they can. These are people, hardworking, everyday people, going to work, getting people to their destinations, getting people to their jobs, to their social engagements, public transit. These bus drivers, these subway operators, train conductors, they're doing their best. So anyways, here's my story. Last week, just a few days ago, I'm on the Danforth, I'm catching a bus, minding my own business. It's the end of the day, rush hour. My guard's a little down. But generally speaking, I'm like a hawk. I'm watching, boy. I'm watching left, right, and center. You can't sneak up on old Johnny here, right? So there I am, on the Danforth, catching a bus, 5 p.m., rush hour, minding my own business. Running up on me is this Peckerwood. Now this is like this kind of like Italian, European, clean cut, kind of yuppie looking dude. I thought to myself, yo, here comes an well-to-do, upstanding citizen. Salt and pepper, black hair, he looked like, mid to early 50s, kind of a paunch, a little chubby. He's got this brown suede jacket on. I think, okay, here comes this well-to-do Peckerwood, nice, clean-cut, upstanding citizen. It's 5 p.m., rush hour. My guard is a little bit down. I'm kind of like, okay, this honky-dory dude, he looks pretty good. I don't have to be all worried about anything, and let's just get this bus rolling and get on with the evening, right? It's like 5 p.m., rush hour. So this Peckerwood comes running up to get on the bus, and I'm standing at the back of the bus. So I see him running up on me, and he looked, like I said, well-to-do. And I said, okay, whatever. And I stepped forward a little bit to the bus was packed. So I could only move so much. So, I moved a little bit. I gave him as much space as I could. And I kind of turned my head and, all right, he's going to get on the bus and we're going to go. All of a sudden, I feel a hand on my shoulder. I perk up, right? I'm like, a hand on my shoulder. Because like I said, it's 5 p.m., rush hour. This Peckerwood's running up on me. I figured everything was okay, honky-dory, just some clean-cut looking fucking yuppie. And I figured there was nothing to think about. I just kind of turned my back to him. Then all of a sudden, I feel this hand on my shoulder. I'm like, did this Peckerwood yuppie fucking fucktard just put his hand on my shoulder? I'm just kind of like dazed and confused. I'm just standing there like, what? and he has his hand on my shoulder. And as I turn to kind of see what's up, he kind of like takes his hand off my shoulder, then walks to the upper deck of the bus. So basically, the vibe he was putting out was like, I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder. Yeah, that's right, I meant that. Move. And he just struts on up to the upper deck of the bus. I'm like, that Peckerwood just... Because, like, generally speaking, when someone puts your hand on your shoulder, it's a bit much to be touching a person. But it's usually followed up with a, like, oh, excuse me. Excuse me. You know, a gentle tap on the shoulder and an excuse me. He pretty much, like, put his hand on me, like, yo, clue yourself in, fool, move. No words, right? Non-verbal, just... manhandling. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm standing there. And, you know, I'm thinking to myself, what should I do? What should I do, right? And then, you know, I got my mask on. And I'm just playing dumb, right? I got my mask on, so, you know, my emotions are somewhat concealed. And I'm just kind of playing dumb for the moment. Just kind of, what should I do? Okay. So then I scanned the horizon. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, well, there's that Peckerwood. He's standing up there. He's on the upper deck of the bus. I'm like, oh yeah, there's that. That's where that Peckerwood is. Okay. Ding! He rings the bell to get off. And as he's walking past me, I put my hand on his shoulder. Of course, he doesn't like that, so he turns around and, taps me on my shoulder. To which I tap him back on his shoulder. Then he pushes me, and then I push him back. Then he pushes me in the chest. And I whack! I slap his hand, right? He starts freaking out. Oh, what the fuck? You idiot! What's what you doing, you moron? You moron! He's calling me a moron, right? I'm like, this Peckerwood just calling me a moron, right? And he's like kind of stuck in the door, right? He's like wedged in between the door, like the bus door closed, right? So he's wedged in between the door, and he's like, fuck you, you moron, you moron, you moron! Calling me an idiot and a moron. And, you know, I kind of went to kick him, right? Because, like, you know, he tried to kick me when he was stuck in the door, so then I went to try to kick him, right? And, you know, speaking it right now, you know, chill runs down my neck, you know? Real emotional, kind of a chaotic scene, right? People are looking, oh my God, you know, and he's screaming, you moron, you idiot, He grabs his cell phone, he like tries to record, right? So then he runs to the front of the bus, right? The bus is parked at the bus has stopped, right? Because like the bus stopped to let him off. But during all the chaos, the bus driver's like, what? So he just kind of stops the bus. And the guy's yelling at me, you idiot, you idiot, And he runs to the front of the bus, right? And he's banging on the bus and he's pointing at me, get out here, come out here, come out. He's like taunting me, calling me to come out to him, right? So I walk from the back of the bus. I walk from the back of the bus to the front. And, you know, I have my mask on, right? And I had my mask on and I'm just like, to the driver, I'm like, hey, buddy, sorry about that. Hey, you know, like, this dude, he put his hands on me. That man put his hands on me. And when I kind of swatted him away, like, yo, don't put your hands on me. I swatted him away. Then he freaks out. I mean, he started it. I mean, look at him. And he's standing outside of the front of the bus and he's screaming, he's yelling, he's got his cell phone out, and he's yelling, going nuts, right? And there's this lady, she's like, this girl, she's like sitting to my left, you know? And, she goes, oh, well, don't worry about him. He does that all the time. A passenger recognized that dude freaking out on me. A few other passengers recognized the dude freaking out on me. The driver recognized the dude freaking out on me. And they're all just like, oh, don't worry about him. He's like that. And the girl, like, you know, she was actually kind of cute. The chick who originally said it. Like, you remember, like, Donald Trump's attorney? I think her name's like Habibi Haladidi or whatever, like Donald Trump's attorney. Like this chick that was like speaking up for me, she was kind of cute. And I'm like, eh. I guess it kind of turned her on probably, see me like smack some fucking yuppie. Like, I guess the dude was kind of trying to get, like, it's like not often that people stand up for themselves in this day and age, right? And I handle it pretty good, you know what I mean? Like, he pushed me and shoved me, and when he slapped my chest, he put his hands on me. So then I smacked his hand away, right? Like I defended myself. And, I guess it kind of turned her on or something, or maybe, I don't know, she was just being nice. But, she was kind of cute her damn self, right? And she was just like, she's like, oh, don't worry about it. This guy's always kind of crazy that way. I'm like, really? And the driver's like, yeah, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm okay, cool. And then the lady, the nice lady, she's like, yeah, don't worry about it. It wasn't your fault. And I like, usually I don't give a shit what people have to say about anything, but like those words really touched me for both our sake. She goes, oh, don't worry, it's not you. And it was kind of like, okay, for once being out in society, witnessing all this craziness, someone attests, somebody bears witness, it wasn't me. It was kind of like two passengers on a bus recognizing like, this is what we're dealing with day to day. These crazy randoms in society. It's ramped up quite a bit. And the driver had a lot of grace and dignity himself. He's like, yeah, don't worry, man. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, like, thank you. And the passengers and the drivers, the passenger and the driver on this bus, we all kind of banded together and was like, yeah, like this guy's known for being a crazy mental patient. That's the state of taking public transit, and that's not an over exaggeration. That's not hyperbole. There's tense situations all the time out in public on the TTC. Happens regularly. So I continued with my journey. Ding! I get off. I passed the lady. She was kind of cute. Like I said, she looked like Donald Trump's attorney. Habibi, whatever, that chick. Kind of cute. And anyways, I look to the lady. I go, hey, thank you. She's like, okay, cool. And I say to the driver, hey, thank you again, sir. He's like, yeah, cool. And I got off. And it's just a real interesting situation because, we need to get a handle on this in society. It's not just the TTC. It's the general demeanor and attitude of Torontonians and people living in big cities. It's like a fallout from, the China flu. It's a fallout from, COVID. A lot of anger and frustration in society and unhinged people. So, I don't know. It was just cool that these people could see my point of view, and it was just kind of a rare, random occurrence in a long time when people in society were rather cool to each other, despite the fact. That's like one of the rare moments I've had in society since COVID. It's one of the first rare moments I had in society in a while when, even though a lot of chaos was going on, people were still pretty cool. Hallelujah. We need to come back to normalcy in society.